So Oprah's big game was she wanted to have a daily dose of inspiration for women, to give that to the world. And I'm sitting here thinking about, what is my big game? What is my mission? I'm learning how to pitch. I'm learning how to talk about Soluna in such a way that people can understand what I feel with the words that I say. So I want to inspire you to look at yourself differently. Man, woman, person, doesn't matter who you are. I want you to look at yourself differently. I know how life-changing it is to shift your perception of yourself, your self-concept. What is the concept of yourself? What does the word concept even mean? Excuse me. Without looking it up, to me, a concept of something is, what is the idea that you have of it? What is the vision that you have of it? How do you see it? If you were to describe what your dog looked like, what is the concept that you have of your dog? Tell me who your dog is. Because listen, my little tiny dog, my dog, he crazy. But also, let me shift how I'm actually looking at him. Like, he's a herding dog. He's a corgi. He's part beagle. He's herding and hunting. He was born and bred to let me know when there's danger, when there's sounds, when there's things all around, right, that may threaten us. Chapo is like a fucking, he's the fucking nervous system, G. Like, Chapo is the nervous system. He's an alert system. And when I say he's loving, yes, but maybe not in the cuddly way. He's not a cuddly lover. He's an Aquarius. So the concept that I have in my dog, now, do I think he's also batshit crazy sometimes? Absolutely. He hasn't been taught any better, though. Hasn't been trained any better. Your mind can be trained. Anyway, your perception can be trained. It can be changed. You were trained to view yourself in a certain way. So how can we release the training that you've learned and then retrain yourself to look at yourself authentically from love? What lens do you think you were taught to view yourself through? And that might be too explicit of a question, because it's not like anybody woke up and said, hey, I want you to look at yourself like this today. But how did you learn how to view yourself? What did your mother view herself like? What did your father view himself like? What did your siblings view themselves like? What did anybody that raised you, your caretakers, how did they view themselves, and how did they express that? What did your friends? What about the people you were around in society? You feel me? Where did you learn how to view yourself? Because how you view yourself, your self-perception, is how you show up in the world. How you view yourself are your limiting beliefs. Do you believe that you can, or do you believe that you can't? Do you believe something's going to be really hard, or do you believe that you can figure it out no matter what? It doesn't mean it's going to be easy or hard, but do you believe that you can figure it out? Does the difficulty matter? Do you believe that making money is easy, or no? What'd your body say whenever I said that? Do you believe that people are inherently kind and loving? Or do you believe that the world is cruel? Cruella. Do you believe the world is cruel? Do you believe that people are always trying to fuck you over? Again, or that they have your best interest at heart? Do you believe they have their best interest at heart, and then they'll do anything to keep those balances, right? What do you believe about the world? How do you believe the world works? How do you believe, who do you believe that you are? What does that even mean? If I ask you, who are you, what will you tell me? What will you tell me? Who are you? Who are you? Listen, I have been sharing tidbits and snippets of what what it is that I really do here, my big game per se, right? Of what I do here. And I hadn't even been able to pick up on it myself, because often for ourselves, we are too close. There's this analogy about the mountains that in this book I'm listening to, and he's just like, listen, you know, you can see the different heights in the different mountains, but whenever you're on the top, when you're down below, but when you actually get to the toppest mountain and you look out, all the mountains look equal. And it's the same thing of, you can't tell which one is, you know, higher or lower than the other. And it's the same thing about understanding your own value. It's the same thing about understanding why your shit is the shit that people want and need. Understanding why somebody should choose you over anybody else. Because, oh, well, you know, I'm just, but you know, that person over there, they're fucking amazing. Like, when you talk about your people, when you talk about your friends versus when you talk about yourself, what's the difference in the energy? Especially if you ride for your people. Especially if you ride. If you are the biggest hype person for your people, and hype not even because they're not, like, not hyping like the, you know, the facetious way, but like hyping in the, because you know they're fucking amazing and they're fucking great. And you get lit up whenever you talk about them, but who are you? Well, I don't know. You know, I'm a mom, or I'm a teacher, you know, I'm a sister, I'm a runner, I like to run. I don't, that's not me, but I'm giving you examples. You know, I like to be outside, I like to be in nature. That none of those things are who you are. Who are you? I'm courageous. I'm funny. I know I'm funny. Whether you think I'm funny is on you. I go after what I want. I trust where I'm led. I'm the type of person that's going to get to the bottom of the problem and the root and understand why it is the way that it is now, so that we can shift the way that you shift it to the way that you want it to be. I'm the type of person that can read patterns in energy. Oh shit, we here, spirit is here. I'm the type of person that expresses myself fully, no matter who is watching me. I'm the type of person, you see the joy? To express my joy whenever I'm in the flow. This is not a ploy. Like, this is not a ploy. I am someone who shares her story. Whew. As scary as it may have been to be seen before, I have overcome my fears so I can share with you my glory of how I have shifted and changed from an old identity to a new. From the way I was taught, the way I learned, let me say that, from the way I learned to be versus how I'm able to show up now here with you. It's very different. It's very different. You see the difference? Who are you? You see, it took me a little minute to get in there. I was like, oh, let me think about this real quick. Because the more that you practice learning who you are, the more you are in alignment with it, the more it is natural to you. The book was talking about today, you know, the more you practice, if your pitch sounds rehearsed, it's not rehearsed enough. Because you want to know that thing inside and out. Do you know yourself inside and out? Like, for real. Some of y'all think you do, but you don't. I'm not saying that in any judgmental way, because I used to think I knew myself and I didn't. I knew the projection of me, the hologram of me. We're living in a hologram, but we're not going to go there. You know? I'm living in the hologram of me. Side note, I'm getting ready to go into my hair appointment. So in case you were wondering what's happening here, you know, but I don't really care. Who are you? Really? That's the question that I'm here to answer. That's my big game. I envision a world where people know who they are. They take accountability for their actions. They move out of love. They choose things that support them versus things that hurt them, things that harm them. Choose things that heal them, that are healing, versus things that are harmful. That they can be honest with themselves and others without shame or guilt or holding back, but speaking with compassion. You can tell the truth and speak it with love. You can be bluntly honest and still find a way to soften the edges, but still deliver the truth. You don't have to fucking hit me with a pickaxe, G. You ain't gotta do that. You ain't gotta do that. But that's probably part of your nurturing. That's probably part of how you learned how to be, by the people you grew up around, the way you had to survive in your community. And somebody said, like, I lived in the suburbs. I grew up in the suburbs. But my family was from one side of my family grew up in East St. Louis by way of Mississippi. And I'm perceptive. And I know people, I know things, but that was not my experience. But I saw it was on the grits and eggs, grits and biscuits. I don't know what podcast it is. My friend sent it to me the other day, but he was like, when they talk about getting out the hood, it doesn't mean to leave your people behind. He said the hood is up here. The hood mentality, the survival mentality. And it's not just like hood speaking with that type of, it's wherever you grew up. Was it rough? Did you have to fight for survival? Because that is whatever you grew up with, that what you learned from 0 to 7, that lives with you now. Whatever you learned to believe then, that's what lives with you now, if you haven't already addressed it and shifted it. And there may be things that you've learned along the way. For example, a coworker of mine, it's been a minute. But I remember one time we were having conversations about race, and I'm mixed, my mom's white, my dad's black. And it was a couple years after that, and I was getting ready to leave the company, and we had my going away lunch and dinner or whatever, and he was like, yo, I never told you this, but this hits a little different now. I never told you this, but you helped me stand up to my family about using the N-word, about being racist, because of our discussion. And I was like, yo, what? I had no idea. We have no idea sometimes about how sharing our experience with people will change their lives, will change their perspectives, will change their perceptions. And the audacity of your ego to try to convince you otherwise. The audacity of part of your mind to try to convince you otherwise. Because it's more challenging to see your value from here because you live here. You're nose blind to it. But that's fucking powerful. And I'm not saying that to toot my own horn, because I'm learning to look at myself differently. I want you to look at yourself differently. I want you to have an emotional expression of joy, of gratitude, of whatever, of excitement, when you realize just how valuable you fucking are. When you realize just how valuable you fucking are. What's wild is I actually made this video to start practicing my pitch. But it seems that it's turned into something that needs to just maybe put out there. We're going to listen to it. 444. You can say that's protection. What you being protected from? And that you are protected on your path and your journey. So that's a confirmation for me, even of put this out there because people need to hear it. So understanding what your value is at the root of what I do. But in order to see your value, sometimes you need to learn to value you. And what do you do with things you value? You take care of them, right? You care for them in such a way that I think of people with these. My dogs are different. I mean, they're not different. They're well taken care of. But I think of people with these bougie ass dogs that are so. I'm not gonna say spoiled. I'm gonna say well loved. These dogs that are well loved, and they'll do anything. Maybe they don't have kids. Maybe they do have kids, but their dogs are their like the babies they can pamper. They can really dote on, Or people that love their cars. They wash their cars once a week. They go detail them because they really, really love it. They value it. So they take care of it. And sometimes you might value something, but you don't take care of it because you don't have the capacity to. Which brings me to my next point of how would you treat you if you really, truly valued you? Would you keep feeding yourself foods that make you feel like shit? Would you keep ingesting substances that make you feel like shit? Would you keep depriving yourself of sleep in the name of, in the name of being the shit? Of being victorious? Or would you realize that sleep is one of the most important things that you can give to yourself? When you value yourself, you value your sleep because your sleep is what helps propel you forward into your greatness. It helps you build your capacity. It helps you move faster versus staying up later. Time may be of the essence, but what happens when you pull an all-nighter? It might work sometimes, don't get me wrong. But if you're pulling all-nighters all the time, what's going to happen is going to run you down. So I desire for y'all to value yourself. I'm learning how to value myself too. And the reason I care about this so much is because I never used to value myself. I remember in college, somebody told me, it's interesting because I think I had a crush on the dude, so there was something there. There was some chemistry there. But he was like, you need to take better care of yourself. And I was like, what? What are you talking about? And I think about that here and there. And I'm like, you know what, though? He was right. He was so right. I wasn't taking care of myself. It was about the people I was around. It's not just about what I'm putting in my body or how much sleep I'm getting. That's part of it. But it was, who are you around? What environments are you in? Like, do you mask in those spaces? Are you allowed to be your full self? Do you allow yourself to be your full self? So, anyway, my darlings, that's my big vision is I desire for y'all, for you to see your value, see your worth, to really change the perception you have about yourself. And there's nothing arrogant about this. There's nothing egotistical about it. You need your ego. It keeps you safe when it's in harmony. So it's about embodying the purpose for why you're here. Knowing that you are the shit, but you are beneath no one and also above no one. You can be confident and not be arrogant. Whew. The lesson I've been learning my whole life, that confidence always felt like arrogance to me. So telling somebody about my talents and the way that I sing, or I have a way with words, but being like, no, it's not really that great. I'm pretty cold. I'm not even gonna fucking lie. I can say that now. So learning how to shine your light freely in this world. There's so many different ways to say it. Being comfortable in your skin, being able to choose authentically and in alignment. I gotta go, but I could keep talking, but I need to go. I have an appointment. So that's my big game. That's my big purpose. That's the root of my foundation. That's my mission. And if that mission resonates with you and you've stayed this long, shit, we 20 minutes in here, but sometimes we need to, I'm a long form content girl. Like the longer I talk, the more I get deep into it when I allow myself to really just get lost in the words. So if this message resonated and vibe with you, share it with others. If you want more where this came from, if you want to know about the services I offer, solunametanoia.com. I'm sure it'll be down in the description somewhere. This one long, it's going to be on YouTube. So, yeah, like, you got questions, put them in the comments. If you loved it, tell me. Love to hear it. I would love to hear what you loved. I would love to hear your feedback. What do you think about yourself? Tell me that. What is your self-concept? How do you view you? Who are you? Who are you? I want to know. And if you're not happy with who you are, you get to change that. And if you're ready to change that, solunametanoia.com. Choose your path. Lastly, my darlings, remember that you are the ritual. You are the magic. And belief in yourself is the first step to self-mastery. Are you ready to be a master of yourself? Come on, let's go. I love you.